Welcome to the Reconnection Club podcast, the show that helps parents heal troubled relationships with their adult sons and daughters. I'm your host, psychotherapist Tina Gilbertson. Each week, I'll offer you compassion, clarity, and personal development tips designed to help you reconnect, not only with your child, but with yourself. Now let's get started. In episode 198, I posited 3 categories of responses that are typically experienced by adult children, and indeed by almost all of us, as invalidating. Even if we don't use that word, we all know what it feels like not to be heard or understood or accepted when we're having feelings about something. I gave examples in that episode of invalidating responses that are really quite common. So if you haven't heard that episode yet, you might want to bookmark it at reconnectionclub.com/198. Before I get around to what validation is, let's make sure we're on the same page about why we might want or need to do it. Validation, in my opinion, is not a nice to have. It's not like an exotic fruit that you can do without at breakfast. For relationships, validation is more like vitamin C. You can get away without it for a while, but eventually there will be consequences to your health. In relationships, it could even result in unwanted estrangement for a time. So let's find out how to sprinkle in some validation or improve your current practice. What is validation? As I indicated in the last episode, to validate someone is to let them know their emotions make sense to you, that you understand why they feel the way they do. And that's it, really. It's very simple on paper. But in addition to the common discomfort with emotions that I alluded to in episode 198, there are 2 more mental roadblocks that most of us need to get past in order to offer validation authentically. Number 1, you might not share the same feelings or even understand where the person's feelings are coming from. And 2, you might actually disagree about the facts of the situation and therefore find it hard to validate their reaction to it. Those 2 obstacles can be overcome by recognizing what validation is and what it is not. Validation is for emotions, period. Validating feelings doesn't mean you condone the person's behavior or share their opinion about what's going on. Even when they seem inseparable, feelings, opinions, and behavior are 3 different things. That's why agreement is not necessary to validate someone's feelings honestly and wholeheartedly. All we're trying to do is express accurate empathy. It's one thing to say, "I understand." It's another to demonstrate your understanding by knowing exactly what they feel and why they feel it. It's not easy, but here's one way to structure an attempt at validation. Step 1. Identify what the person feels by name. And step 2, say why that particular feeling makes sense. Logically, the steps have to happen in that order. The first step, identifying feelings, will take most of the time and can be challenging, even for therapists who are trained to validate. You may need to ask questions and try out several guesses to tease out the emotions if they're not right up front. Here's some language you can use to try to identify what someone may be feeling. Number 1. When you have no idea how someone feels about what they're telling you, you can ask, "How do you feel about that?" Number 2, if you have some idea how they might be feeling and you want to take a guess, you can say, "That sounds blank," and then fill in the blank with a feeling word: disappointing, annoying, sad, etc. You don't have to get it right. Just take a reasonable guess. Number 3, it seems like you might be feeling a bit, fill in the blank, worried, rejected, hurt. Use a single word to make sure it's a feeling and not a thought. There's a feelings versus thoughts section in my Constructive Wallowing book to help you tell the difference. Keep your tone tentative and remember that they are the expert on how they feel. For example, don't make assumptions or overstatements like, "I can tell you're furious," if they haven't indicated that they're angry. Let them lead the exploration of their experience, or let them shut it down if they want to. Validation isn't obligatory on either side. But most people don't get asked how they feel very often, and some will undoubtedly be pleased by your genuine interest. So all of that happens in step 1, identify the feeling. In step 2, you say why the feelings identified in step 1 make sense to you. For example, that does sound blank. No wonder you're blank. Lots of people feel blank when blank. And once you've spent some time together understanding their feelings better, then you can say simply, I can understand that. When someone is able to understand what we're going through to the point where they can say, no wonder you feel that way, I get it, then we feel heard, understood, and cared about. So validation is a gift that you can choose to give yourself and or others. And like any true gift, it's never required. Validation is always optional. There are other ways to communicate depending on the needs of the moment. There are times when disagreement would be appropriate. Sometimes your focus might be on speaking up for yourself, taking your own side, or standing your ground. Those are important. But if you frequently face an unhappy choice between standing up for yourself or validating an adult child who wants to be heard and seen by you, then you may be caught in a bind. Listen to episode 163, Personal Growth versus Parenting, for some thoughts about that. It's at reconnectionclub.com/163. Once you know how to do it, you can validate whenever you want to, which raises the question of when. When do you use validation? Well, use it when you want to offer emotional support, understand someone's experience, practice acceptance, or show that you're truly listening. If your adult child has accused you of gaslighting, invalidating their feelings, or not listening to or understanding them, or if they've said that you, quote, make everything about you, mom or dad, then thoughtful, genuine validation may be a skill to either strengthen or add to your toolkit. In the next episode, I'll point out some pitfalls of practicing validation with estranged adult children during estrangement and offer practical suggestions for moving forward with your validation practice. Until then, remember that you are a loving, lovable, and still growing human being. So please take good care of yourself. Bye for now. If you've enjoyed this episode of the Reconnection Club podcast, I invite you to check out reconnectionclub.com. The Reconnection Club is for parents at any stage of estrangement from their adult, child, or children. So whether you've just realized there's trouble between you, you've been living with estrangement for years, or you're newly reconciled but still walking on eggshells, the Reconnection Club is your essential resource for information, support, and continued personal growth. With our courses and workshops, expert interviews, monthly Q&A calls, and a friendly, active community, the Reconnection Club is a wonderful place to be for anyone suffering the pain of estrangement from an adult, child, or children. So check it out at reconnectionclub.com.